Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space where we discuss everything relationship, and I'm your host, Franca. On today's show, we'll be discussing the impact of families in romantic relationships. And with me discussing this today is Tomi Baba Bobola, Akin Bobola, National Key, National Key Account Manager. I like to sing it. National Key Account Manager with Nigerian Bottling Company. Hey, hey. We. And also with me is Ginika Okoha, who is a counselor, the chief counselor with AIM. Ginika, are you there?
Here, hi.
Hello. How are you doing, Ginika?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
We're good. Okay, please note that you can share your story with us via our WhatsApp line 081 9038 4663 or join us live in this conversation by calling us on 070-2500-7749 or 070-1424-2420. Uncle, how are we doing?
Well, so far so good.
How was your weekend?
Weekend, it's a peak
We've
season.
not seen you this week.
Yeah.
I'm sure your fans are like, "Oh, where's that guy? Where's that guy? Guys,
I mean,
always."
if they missed me, they should have sent me messages. We didn't see you online. So. Well, come on. We thank God it's been good.
Okay.
But because it's a peak season, it's been work. So, but keep pushing.
Ginika, hi, it's Abuja. We have
Abuja
a
is
friend
good.
today.
Amatan is here, so everybody's getting ready for Christmas. Things are expensive. Goodness.
Okay. Okay. Please note that you can please follow us on all our social media platforms. And told me I was even going to say that we would want our viewers to mention where they're watching from, so we kind of know, where our viewers, where our reach and all that. So please follow us or subscribe on our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV, and please, our live viewers, can you just please indicate where you're watching from so we know where you're watching from,
Especially for my people in the United States of America.
So please, let's quickly go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll dive straight into this conversation.
Heartlines would be right back.
Life is made up of moments, some that lift us, others that break us. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space where we explore the beauty, the heartbreaks, and the incredible strength that every relationship brings into our lives. Friendship, marriages, partnerships, and everything in between.
Yes, say yes.
All the connections that shapes who we are today. Every week, we dive into the stories that define us. Stories of love, loss, heartbreaks, and healing. Real life stories from real people, just like you and I. Heartlines is where emotions meet understanding, and where we learn that we're never truly alone. Join me Mondays through Fridays at 9:30 p.m. for Heartlines, where we connect with every heart, one story at a time.
Thanks for staying with us on Heartlines.
So today we're discussing the impact of family in romantic relationship, and I want to make, I guess that means that impact of family in marriages or partnerships. Tommy, as a guy, I want, because most times it's always from the men's part of the family. So what's your take on this?
uh, it's a very, very big topic and a very sensitive one at that.
I agree with you.
But if I was to speak to it, I want to be candid and
Very honest.
honest. First and foremost, there needs to be creation of boundaries. And it goes a long way, both from the lady and from the guy.
Okay.
More importantly, from the guy.
Okay.
Why I'm saying from the guy is because family are much more prone to be attached to the guy. On that level is especially guys who are even the only sons. Okay,
You are the only son.
Yeah, I'm the only son, but not. I'm not talking about me right now. I'm talking about guys generally.
Generally.
Now, it has the pros and it has the cons. Obviously, family is important. You need families in gatherings, when you have parties, when you are going for holidays, even for financial support, even for role modeling. So when I mean role modeling, I mean the good ones that came from good backgrounds. You know, you have families that you want to look up, you want to replicate. I mean, what you went through whilst you're growing up in your family, you want to replicate it in your family.
Yeah.
So it's something to look up to with your family. Okay. But where do people make mistake? Is when you do not know how to draw the line, which is why I earlier mentioned boundaries. Let me give an example, which is I think is much common in most relationships. I'll be saying financial. Now, some wives do not like some husbands or some boyfriends to send money into the family.
I agree with you, yeah. I think that's crazy.
However, it still boils down to communication. Now, the man needs to also know how to set boundaries with his wife. However, again, his wife comes first. His family comes first. But based on communication, he needs to make her understand that she has the ultimate say. However, his family is also important. Okay?
I'm listening to you.
Now, if he's able to get her to that level where she understands that, okay, my husband understands that his family is number one. Okay? However, he came from a certain family. So I don't want to use the word. I can say he's also obligated to still reach out to help his family when needed. But don't forget, I said his family comes first.
I agree with you.
That's the point. Now, two, the moment family start to get involved in activities in a home, say for instance in decision making, say for instance they want to know about everything that's going on, or even by yourself you go and tell your family what's going on in your home, you're already giving them the sense of entitlement that they have every right to know what's going on in your home. And the moment you try to pull out, it becomes a problem. Which is why I always tell most of my friends, what you will start now, continue with it. If you start now by allowing your family to get involved in every single activity that goes on in your home, then you have to continue with it, because the moment you stop, they will say it's your wife.
Okay, so I understand what you're saying, but just like you're the only son, I just have one sister.
I'm even still coming to that, but that's another story you understand.
I just have one sister.
I'm just speaking on an overview.
I just have one sister, and we do roll call,
Okay.
like every day. So I'm doing roll call with my sister or my brother, and we're doing this conference call like every day. So we speak like 3 times a week or 4 times a week. Like everybody is updated on what's going on in everybody's life.
Most family have a group chat. I mean, WhatsApp group chat.
Do you understand? So we always have that, and I just feel that my siblings are the only people who can tell me the honest truth.
True.
Like my siblings, if I fuck up like this, so because I'm so comfortable with them, I tell them everything. When I fuck up, when I not fuck up, I tell them everything. So you need to see where my siblings are telling me, oh no, you're not try for this one. No. In fact, seriously, in my marriage, I think that my siblings are always on my husband's side.
As it should be. As it should be.
It's not as it should be.
But
They should be
relative. As
honest.
it should be, but
Yes.
relative.
Because they know me so well, they just feel that, Frank, and are you, this guy, now you they do this, and I'm like, are you guys crazy? Sometimes I don't even want to tell them certain things because they're always on my husband's
Because you
side.
don't want to get the truth.
No, but when I don't want to tell them, I'm like, they're not being real. But I just feel that sometimes they even overdo it so that, It's not like they don't want to get me, they don't want to encourage me to misbehave.
But is your husband okay with you communicating stuff like this to your siblings?
My husband doesn't know that I talk to my siblings.
Which is breaking of trust.
Which breaking of trust? We have never said, no, don't talk. I don't understand. These are people I talk to. I'm not telling friends. I'm telling my siblings what's going on in my life.
What's our topic today?
Impact of family in
a
your relationship. But you see, for everybody, you need to speak to someone.
True. And that's when it's going sideways.
Do you understand?
Does your relationship go sideways all the time with your husband?
When you mean sideways all the time, what do you mean?
You have problems concurrently.
So that's the thing. It's not always problems.
Yeah, so
it's not
advisable. Okay, well, if it's for gisting's sake,
It's gisting,
yes.
it's
But
not
discussing
problem.
your husband, I'm not in support of it.
No,
Because
so it is
some
not,
way, somehow, you're going to be creating some sense of representation of your husband.
No, so it's not about. So when I mean gisting, we would always talk about everything. My brother would tell me about, oh, the kids did this. I'm telling them, oh, my daughter did this.
Hey, that's fine. So I want us to get a clear direction.
Every conversation.
There is positive and there's negative.
See, what we're
You can
saying
discuss
is,
positive with your family, no doubt.
You can't select.
But negative where your husband comes to look like a bad person, I will never support that.
Yeah, but like I said,
Yeah.
at every point in time, whatever it is you're going through, you need that one.
You need that one person when it's getting to a point where you start to have emotional breakdown.
It is not only emotional breakdown. Sometimes you need to speak to someone. Okay, so it depends on
The level.
It depends on how you speak. Like I said, we do roll call in my house. Do you understand? It is not about bashing anybody. It is not about making anybody feel. I think my siblings love my husband more than they love me. Do you understand? So that one is already, on its side. So, but we always have that conversation. If my sister will call me and say, oh, this is going on, we might not even be discussing about the husband. We're discussing, oh, an event that happened, oh, this person did something, things like that.
It's from that angle, that's activity. It's okay. But
You don't understand.
But we're talking about romantic discussion.
No, that's
what
not
the topic
no,
says.
that's not what it is. We're saying the impact on family
in a romantic
relationship. That's in a marriage.
In a marriage, exactly.
Yes, so it's not about only when you have problems. We're just saying average. It's about somebody. We're speaking to someone. Somebody said, "Oh, my husband prefers to pay the bills for his own family members." That's not a problem.
If the wife is okay with it.
You understand? She doesn't work, but you don't understand. So the guy carry family matter for head.
Which is fine.
But that's what is it for somebody else is a problem. Do you understand? So we're saying the impact of family all round 360. Do you understand? How does it impact your relationship, your marriage? In a good or negative light. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Funny enough, my husband will do things for my siblings, my people, and I don't get to know. He has conversations with, in fact, sometimes when people are coming to my house, they don't tell me. They send a message to my husband to say, oh, we're coming.
But when you get to know about him doing things for your relative.
Because I know
how do you
that
feel?
that's what he does. I don't feel bad about it.
So there's an understanding in that regards. There's an
You
understanding.
don't get my point. I'm just saying that everybody just has different things that works for them. My husband is that person that will not say, so I know that he does that. So I don't even care whether he's doing for my family, whether he's doing for his family. He doesn't tell me. The only thing I get to hear is my phone will ring. Please help me thank your husband. That's how I know he did anything. So it's not a conversation. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? But I'm saying that for me, my siblings are the people who check me. Because I feel that they're the most honest people. You understand? You can never, if you go meet friend, I'm not a friend person anyway. But my siblings are the ones who would always check me to say, oh, this, that. Sometimes, if I call my brother, I go say, why you they call me by this time? You don't do food. So it's just my safe space. You understand? How you just have friends and all that. So for me, the impact, and guess what? It's not just my immediate family. My sister-in-law, my mother-in-law. In fact, my mother-in-law is closer to me than my mom. Do you understand?
When do you draw the line?
Draw which line?
The line, family coming into your marriage activities. When do you draw the line? At what point do you draw the line?
Which line? I know it. So it's not, I'm just saying, when you mean draw the line, it's how much you get them involved that you now need to draw the line.
That's the point I'm trying to get to.
Yeah, so
boundaries.
But they're saying impact. What I'm trying to say, it has positive
and negative impact. Exactly.
Like my mother-in-law is like my mother-in-law would rather come to me for every other thing. When I go to my mother-in-law, I don't sleep in any other room. I sleep in my mother-in-law's room. Do Do you understand? So basically, what I'm saying is, it's how you deal with it. When I was having kids, my mom would come and do 2 weeks. My mom would tell you, say, I beg, I not get your, you understand? But my mother-in-law would come and do 4 months. We have an understanding. Do you understand? That even my husband doesn't understand. I would always say to my mother-in-law, come rain, come sunshine.
In your own case,
exactly.
In your own case, you have a husband who understands.
So that's what I'm saying for every other person.
Exactly.
But let's get to Ginika. Ginika, what do you have to say about this?
Okay, see, every family dynamic is different. I completely agree with what he said, and you also what you said. Now it's working for you. Speaking to your siblings, telling your siblings everything about what's going on in your marriage. It's working for you because it hasn't. There's no negative ripple effect that has happened. But has it happened? It has happened. Family has. Because there's a saying where don't get family involved in your relationship issues or conversations. There should always be a boundary to anything. And the thing is, if you're used to saying good things about your partner, if you're used to giving your siblings or your family every details, fun details, interesting details about your marriage, you would also be free and easy to say the negative ones about your partner. And then whether you like it or not, it kind of creates a certain mindset or perspective or image of your partner towards your family. Now, you're lucky that, your own family has a good relationship with your husband, so nothing negative has happened. But there are other people who it has had a very negative ripple effect. So, for this topic, of course, there are good impacts and there are negative impacts. Should you tell your family everything? No. Should your family be your confidant, your counselor, your go-to? Like I said, every family has its different dynamic. But for me personally, I don't think so, because when you will settle, whatever it is that you have told out of anger to your family would remain in your siblings or in your family's mind. That every time they see your partner or they see you, they remember what you said about them. Even like friends, when we have like a 3-circle friends and 2 people are fighting and the other person comes, you know how it is where you will still remember all the things that person said. So that it happens like that. So having boundaries in family is very important. Very important.
Okay, but the truth is, even if you don't tell your family, you tell your friends.
Friends don't be your family, but even friends.
You get
level of information where you go release to your friend. No, because trust me, they will use that information to judge your spouse.
That's what I'm saying, that it is not about family, about the judging. Anybody you give that information to will eventually use it against you at some point.
Hey, my friend if my friend is information against me, that's his problem. But it's not my family. It's different.
But you see, the thing is, hold on. But you see, the thing is, why are you even telling your friend?
In the first place.
In the first place.
Yeah.
So if you're having real issues, talk to someone who is unbiased, who does not know anything about the relationship. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You don't have somebody that will come back again and feel and no. So yes, we should always have someone to speak with. You get.
Ginika, yes. I get it that. So when you say somebody who is unbiased, for example, you're not talking about a counselor, are you?
No.
Who are you speaking? So who is the unbiased person?
It doesn't have to be.
So who is the unbiased person?
A neutral person.
So who is that neutral person?
It can be a church. It can be someone in the church who.
It can be a mentor. It can be your boss. It can be your. Do you understand? You're just having a conversation based on that particular issue.
So that person, when you say an unbiased person, that person knows you and knows your wife. Yes or no?
An unbiased person doesn't.
Yes.
An unbiased person
should not about an unbiased. Listen,
does not know both of you.
See, when you say an unbiased person, doesn't mean the person doesn't know you or your wife. And who says that your friend is biased? Well, assuming, because the truth is, Ginika, you are a counselor.
Yes.
You understand? And you're friends with people. Because of your professional training, if your friend tells you something, you're not going to be biased. You're going to tell the person from your professional point of view what you think. Yes or no?
Yes.
So if your friend comes to you to talk to you as a friend, you're going to be very objective.
That's because I've been trained to. Not
Ginika,
everybody has been
but
trained
trust me,
to
no,
do
let's
that.
not do that.
But
You know why?
trust me,
That
I do not need to be a counselor to be objective.
thank you. That's what I'm going. That's where I'm going to.
Spot on.
Yes, that's where I'm going to. You do not need
To be a counselor to be objective.
Thank you, because you're facing it. Even if I know your wife,
Exactly. Which is
Yes.
why so many times I have my friends come to tell me what they're going
Thank
through and all
you.
that, because they believe I'm a very objective person.
you and I were having. Can you remember the conversation we're having with the other? One day with that guy. And we're speaking
Oh,
very
yeah.
objectively.
Yes.
regardless of whether you
Oh,
know the
yeah,
wife.
how we know exactly.
Exactly. So my point is, I feel that let's look at this thing critically, as in, I get that everybody feels like the family can be biased, you understand, but you have objective friends who are very honest with you to tell you that, you know what, for me, I'm saying my family because they are my friends, and I'm not stupid. I think everybody is sensible to a certain point to a certain level that you will know that, oh, if I tell this person, they go use them tomorrow. So you know who to go
Who
to.
to talk to, yeah.
Thank you. Tommy, you're very objective, and I've seen you actually deal with certain issues. Are you saying that? So when I said Ginika, I said because she's a counselor, you are not a counselor. Are you telling me if your friend comes to you to tell you something about what is going on, tomorrow you're going to now begin to say that person, you're not going to do that?
I won't use, it doesn't change my
It
relationship.
doesn't change
Doesn't even change my relationship with him.
Or the wife.
Or the wife. I can't use that to judge
Tommy,
him. Because
there's a guy that is your friend, that
Yeah.
they're not together, and the wife is still your very good friend. You told me you even went for an
if
event.
both are still my friend.
Thank you.
I will not use that to judge any of them.
Ginika, I would not say that it is because you're a professional. That's why you're actually an objective. I have seen counselors.
No, yes, but I was saying you, but you see the thing is, what I was saying is that because I can be objective doesn't mean every other person will be objective. And
Yeah.
just because every other person is objective doesn't mean, do you understand? I mean, if some people are lucky to have friends who are objective, some people are lucky to have family who are objective.
Yeah.
So I think before you blot out your issues to anyone, you have to know who you're talking to.
Spot on.
Because for me, I cannot talk to my family because I bet you they will use it against me. But you can. Do you understand? So
that's what
because
we're
you
saying.
can,
So
doesn't mean that. Yes.
That's why we're discussing this, to say that. So what we should be doing is stating things that people should look out for, because the truth is, no man is an island.
Yeah.
And not everybody wants to speak to a counselor.
Yeah.
Not everybody wants to speak to
Personally,
somebody.
I don't like to speak to a counselor. Personally, I tell my wife, let's sort this out by ourselves.
God bless you.
Let's sit down
So
and
you see
analyze
what I
this.
was, no, but you see what I'm trying to say. They will tell you, oh, go speak to a counselor. You guys can sit down
I
and
don't
speak.
believe in speaking to a counselor.
Good.
Not
You
once.
guys can sit down and speak to each other and solve your problem. Some people can't do that. And then guess what? It is that friend that I have that will now talk sense into my head, that will make me understand that, what you are doing does not make sense. It helps. So what I'm trying, that's why I say that there's a positive side to this thing and there's a negative side to it. Which is why I said impact of family, but you need to know it's not just family, outsiders, third parties. So you need to identify, you understand, what works for you. And there are people you tell the truth. You're honest with them, but they won't do what you tell them to do. It is the one that they want to do that they do. So I think this thing is relative or subject to how the person's even thinking. Because it's not even everything I say to you. Tommy, as you big like this, get sense. If you come and meet me and I advise you on something, I am very sure you go back and replay everything I have said. And you will say, she has said this, she has said this. She's speaking from her own point of view and based on her own experience. My wife is not like her. So I don't need to do these things exactly how she has done it or how she has said it. What I should do is go through everything she has said. From everything she has said, what would work for my wife? What would work for my relationship? Yes or no? So you see, why I'm saying this is we need to be, as much as we know that there are impacts in this thing, the individual has to be objective. Because like I said, there are good parts to it. There are negative sides to it. Ginika is speaking. She said, oh, she knows her family. And that was why, because she's a counselor, that's why I said, for you as a counselor. And she said it's because she has professional training. I am happy you also said you don't have any professional training, but you're very objective.
Yeah.
So are we saying that people should identify these things? Because you cannot tell anybody not to talk.
Yes.
You are deceiving yourself. People must talk.
So whoever you're talking to you need to know that you're in a safe space with that person.
So, Ginika, what would you advise somebody to do if the person doesn't want to see a counselor and the person needs to speak to somebody? Are you going to tell the person, keep it inside, don't do anything? And who says the church would even give good advice?
Can I give an example?
Yes, please.
I for one rather do not like to talk to anybody. So most time it's not the best, because sometimes you see yourself keeping stuff, piling stuff, because you have a policy you don't want to discuss with your parents, like Ginika said, and it's also my own motto. Never discuss your wife with your family, because if you say anything that she does, they will never forget it. So why not resolve whatever issue you have with your wife? So I'm not saying it's the best, but personally, I keep it until maybe eventually, funny enough, eventually my wife comes to me and comes to complain about something. That's the time I'll not start bringing out my own. Nobody do this one. Nobody do this one. Nobody do this one.
But it's wrong.
It's wrong. I know it's wrong. And my wife gave me a lesson. She said, I'm coming to you when I have an issue. It shouldn't be the time
You speak about
your own issue.
Yes.
Let's deal with this issue at hand, and then come to me whenever
you're ready to discuss yours, come to me. Exactly.
Which is the best. But for me,
because you keep it and you don't want to talk about it, this is what happens. So,
Exactly.
Ginika, I'm coming back to you. So, if the person doesn't want to see a counselor, the person cannot speak to the family, what would you advise the person to do?
The person should find someone, because just like you said, we're not created to be an island. You need people around you, family, friends. Sometimes I cringe when people say, "Oh, I don't have friends. I don't like to make friends." No, you need friends. We need friends. The only issue is that maybe you haven't been able to identify who a friend is. You haven't been able to identify what you want as a friend, or you may be expectations on someone. Do you understand? But we do need people. So if you don't have family to speak with, you don't want to speak to a counselor, you should have friends. If you don't have, try and make friends. Be open. And oftentimes, people who don't have friends, they have childhood wounds that they have not healed from past experiences or something that they need to heal from in order to have friends. Because I don't see why, because one or two people did you wrong, you now decide, okay, every other person in the world is bad. No, maybe you played, because the thing is, in relationship, both people played a role. So it's either you put on some unrealistic expectations on this friend who was not capable of giving you what you wanted, and then you turn to the person as a bad friend. Meanwhile, the person was incapable of giving you what they don't have, or it could be anything. So, but the truth is, we need friends. So find friends, find someone,
friends that
find
we
a
can
mentor.
speak to. So we need friends. So we need to speak.
Friends. Yes.
At the end of the day,
Then
we
you
need to
can
speak
speak
to
with-
someone.
well, let me say two things there.
Yes.
We need to speak to
Let me
someone
say
when
two
we come
things.
back from our break. Let's quickly go on a break and we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Heartlines would be right back.
Life is made up of moments, some that lift us, others that break us. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space where we explore the beauty, the heartbreaks, and the incredible strength that every relationship brings into our lives. Friendship, marriages, partnerships, and everything in between.
Yes, say yes.
All the connections that shapes who we are today. Every week, we dive into the stories that define us. Stories of love, loss, heartbreaks, and healing. Real life stories from real people, just like you and I. Heartlines is where emotions meet understanding, and where we learn that we're never truly alone. Join me Mondays through Fridays at 9:30 p.m. for Heartlines, where we connect with every heart, one story at a time.
Looking to take your business to the next level through partnerships? Then join us every Thursday at 10 a.m. for Partner Up.
Whether you're an entrepreneur, marketing, sales, or partnership professional,
Partner Up is here to give you the tools you need to succeed. From in-depth interviews with industry experts to real-world case studies of successful partnership strategies that drive innovation and business growth. We dive deep into what it takes to form successful partnerships. Thursdays, 10 a.m. Don't miss Partner Up.
Thanks for staying with us on Heartlines.
Okay, so Tommy, sorry, I cut you short before we went on the break.
Yeah.
You were about to say something.
Yeah, so on financials, before I go to what I'm going to say, I actually just want to even commend my wife. When it has to do with sending money to family, sometimes I even forget. And my wife can remind me, say, guy, you're supposed to send funds. Okay? Now, and that's because it's an understanding. Now, that said, speaking about who to talk to in terms of, airing how you feel or whatever is going to your marriage that is disturbing you.
So but let's not make it about problems. Let's not make it about negative things.
Okay.
It's just speaking to someone.
Speaking to someone generally,
Yes,
so to speak.
generally,
In Michelle's
yes.
word, so to
Yes.
speak. Some people love to speak to ministers, pastors.
Okay.
But personally, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. But personally, it's not what I would do.
Okay.
Okay. We've seen scenarios where even these people take advantage
Yes.
of the woman. Women can be very emotional.
Vulnerable.
When vulnerable, exactly. When they need someone to talk to and they see someone who's creating time for them, they tend to start leaning towards that person for a safe haven. And then some of these people, they take advantage. And before you know it, something has happened.
Let me share a story.
Yeah.
I heard a story of where a husband and wife, they were having issues and they were confiding in a pastor and his wife. They were apart.
So, pastor, they do husband.
No, it wasn't even about doing.
Okay.
For some reason, the pastor's wife wanted to break that home.
Wow. So rather than putting a positive
Putting a
information,
positive
it'll be
so she kept telling the lady wasn't around. She kept telling the lady that the husband was carrying women. And then, so the woman got back and was angry with her husband that, why did you do this? You see where communication comes in. So the wife was like, she was acting up. And the man said, why are you doing this? What's the problem? I think when they now spoke, the woman now told her husband that this is what you did, this is what you did. The man said, me. Even if they tell you that kind of thing.
You're not supposed to come and ask.
Are you not supposed to?
You even believe?
Do you even believe? That's how they went to pastor's house to confront, because she said it was the pastor's wife that told her. Pastor's wife, when did you catch me with somebody? What happened? Story. So, as much as I say speak to someone, and people just think in quotes that, the church and maybe men of God, women of God are the best place. They're also manipulative. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not.
You're spot on. Let me
Yeah, hold.
Yeah, go ahead, Ginika.
Sorry, let me even share another story. I've heard of a counselor who ended up having an affair with her client.
Wait till I just stick up.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what I just said.
So the truth is, so the truth is, because humanity, we're losing all sense of humanity. There are so many bad people with bad intentions and everything in the world. So there are pastors who are not doing right, there are counselors or therapists who are not doing right, there are families who are not doing right, there are friends who are not doing right. I think at the end of the day, you see, we have been blessed with intuition. At the end of the
Which is what I
day,
said.
whoever it is that you choose to speak with, listen to your intuition. After you have finished praying about it, which is very good to be spiritual, I am. Pray about it and let God direct you to whoever it is you need to speak to. And listen to your intuition. If your intuition tells you this is off, please listen to it.
Okay.
Because the truth is, some people have had bad experiences with certain people, pastors, therapists, family, friends, and some people have had great. So, but you cannot, because of one person's bad experience, and say that, then generalize that all that whole system is wrong. So at the end of the day, whoever it is that you need to speak to, have some form of spiritual guidance and listen to your intuition, and just be attentive and listen, and just be watchful of the red flags, because
Okay.
you eventually you will see those red flags. When you see something, if you're talking to a friend and your friend starts, so you've got your friend, find your friend something your partner did to you, and your friend starts telling you bad things, like, how men good for your marriage? With an open mind. You need someone who will not, because you're there to guide you've got your friends to give you some guidance. You don't want someone to be adding more pepper into your
So
pain.
run.
Do you understand? Or be
Like they will
giving you
say, this
some
gender, this
negative stuff
gender,
about
So
you.
you're
Exactly.
speaking to Michelle.
So,
You're speaking to Michelle.
so,
Okay, so please, our phone lines are still
so you
open.
listen to those red flags, yeah.
Yeah, so our phone lines are still
Go
open.
ahead.
Please, you can call us on 070-2500-7749 or 070-1424-2420. So someone sent a letter that I need to read. So it says, Dear Franca, I love your show and appreciate the thoughtful way you address sensitive relationship issues. Regarding today's episode, impact of family on romantic relationships, I have a personal dilemma and thought to just let you in. I have noticed that my wife often prioritizes her family members first, before the kids, and then lastly me. While I respect her love for her family, this sometimes leaves me feeling overlooked. I want to be honest with her about how this makes me feel, but I'm afraid of hurting her feelings or causing tension. How can I approach this conversation in a way that is both transparent and compassionate? I did greatly appreciate any advice you can offer on how to frame this discussion constructively. Joshua.